Hello everyone, welcome to another brand new episode of Tess Talks. So today I want us to talk about a very significant topic, and that topic many people have wanted me to comment on it, and I decided to do it today. So that is the withdrawal of one very significant presidential candidate, and that is Raila Amolo Odinga. So we saw for the last few days or weeks ago, we saw Raila Amolo Odinga withdrawing from the presidential candidature. So now people are wondering what next for the country, because this is a very competitive season and these are candidates who are competing for the seat and one has withdrawn. So let's even first analyze the withdrawal. Is it really a withdrawal under the regulations 52? No, of elections, ABC? No, it's not. Because for you to withdraw, you have to follow some procedure. He has to sign a form called 24A. So when he signs that form, and not just signing a form of withdrawal, he also has some time limit, because it has to be 3 days after, after nominations. And he just didn't do it, the nominations the other day. It was done way back. So of course this is not a withdrawal. So now if it's not a withdrawal, then what is it? Most of his supporters are trying to argue that because it's not a withdrawal, this is like abandoning his electoral quest. And so that takes us to paragraph 290 of the Supreme Court ruling 2013. So in the Supreme Court ruling 2013, there was a question asked, and that question was asked by the Attorney General of Kenya, and he asked, what happens if a candidate withdraws before the election is done? And the Supreme Court ruled that if such a situation happens, what's supposed to do is that a fresh nomination should start. And now that's what the NASA supporters are trying to say. They're saying now, because he has withdrawn or abandoned his electoral quest, what should happen is that they should have a fresh nomination. But then again, we have to look at it this way. There is a valid Supreme Court order of 2017 saying that IEBC should conduct fresh elections within a period of 60 days. So if the elections will not be conducted within this period of 60 days, what is going to happen is that we will be going against a Supreme Court order. And if so happens, sanctions may occur. The IBC will be answerable, because this is a valid court order. They have said go back to elections, and now you have stopped. But then again also, is this withdrawal, can we say, is this withdrawal timely or not? If you see this decision, High Court decision by Justice Motivo. Justice Motivo said is one presidential. Before the High Court judge ruled that other candidates should be included. There were only 2 presidential candidates left. That is Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta, as current president, and Raila, who is the opposition leader. So there were 2 candidates left. So now what happened is that one candidate who was left out decided to go to court, and the court ruled that he should be brought back to that election. So the withdrawal of one candidate, who is Raila, would have been favorable if these other candidates were not included. But now the Chief Justice Motivo ruled you should have all other parties included. So now one may ask, what is the need of now a fresh nomination? Because these are the same people who were given priority 2-3 months ago. Nominations were conducted, these candidates were put through by their parties. So just because of the nullification, we need to do fresh nomination. Is there any possibility of new candidates coming in? I don't think so, because if they were unable to come in 3 months ago, what will change now? So the candidates that we have can still be valid. And now if we have one party withdraw, remember the opposition party or the NASA coalition has clearly stated that on the 26th October 2017, which is the scheduled date for the Kenyan elections, there will be no election. And that's a very significant mention, that if there will be no election. What does that mean? Remember, the Jubilee coalition, which is the president's team, has said that on the 26th of October 2017, elections has to be there. So if elections are going to be there on the 26th October, and one party, which that's the NASA, which has a big following also, just like the presidential party, is saying that there will be no election. So we'll have a scenario where 26th of October 2017, elections will be held. But there are other parts of the country that the elections will not be there. So what happens? Either there will be intimidation, police will be there, or there will be violence, demonstrations. Which Kenyan of sound mind would want to go vote in a place where you're not even sure of your safety? So there are areas where elections will not take place. And so what happens is that the president will be elected and will be presumed that he won. And then we have another scenario like the one we had before, parties moving to court. And this time, I think they will even have a better claim than the one they had before, because now they will say it was not free and fair, which, of course, other parties will not have elected their leader. So it will not be free and fair. You see, such scenarios are there. But then again, also one thing we need to know is that if the elections are done in 2016 of this month, 2017, that means the president, whoever wins, will be elected, and then we'll have a period where people can petition to the Supreme Court. So there will be no caretaker government, and perhaps that's what the opposition party are looking at, because right now the president is experiencing one thing we call temporary incumbency, such that there are some, even if he's the president, there are some things that he's not able to do, like there are some appointments he cannot do, you see. But now, if he will still experience another temporary. But if the elections are not held on 26th, and then the 60 days periods are over, as the Supreme Court 2017 stated, what will happen is that the president will no longer be president, because people, even if the constitution says the president is from the beginning, when he's sworn into a new president is sworn, there will be no chaos, because why is the president occupying the presidency yet the election period is not there, or we were told to do elections and nothing happens? So there will be chaos and be a caretaker government. And now again we look at who will be sitting in as the president. So now they will be chaotic. So I think what will happen is that, just as the Supreme Court ruling said, and I talked about it in my previous video, is that within a 60 days period, the elections, that is on 2016, let it happen. But I can assure you there will be a petition, and this time round it will be clear. It is not free and fair, you see. But the most interesting bit is that in any presidential race or in any race whatsoever, if your main competitor withdraws, what happens? You're supposed to be happy because you're the remaining candidate. But in Kenya right now, even if one party withdraws, the other remaining potential candidates are sad, because they see that this is not the correct way to do things. And remember, our Supreme Court ruling and the judges were very clear. Election is not a one-day event. Election is a process. So if the process does not constitute or is not seen to be free and fair as per our constitution, there will be a possibility that there will be a re-election. And now the question is, will Kenyans be ready? Because we will be going to election the third time. That is, if the 26th if these elections, upcoming elections, are nullified. It means we'll be going to elections again if the outcome is nullified the third time. And are we ready for it? You've seen the demonstrations, just as I said. These days, if the police do the killing or any killings is done, what happens is that it's no longer demonstrators are killed. It's the Luos are being killed. You see, the tribalism I was talking about, that is becoming greater. So we Kenyans need to sit down and focus and realize that this is our country, and we need to do everything that we're going to do. We have to do for the interest of our country, so that we do not ban our economy, we do not divide our country into two or into tribes. We make sure that whatever we do will only bring our country together and push us forward. Thank you guys, and don't forget to like, share, comment, and let me know what you think about this. Thank you.